was gonna change that, but that was one of my old stuff that I did try to do. But hey, what's
That
going
works.
on? It's your boy KLA, Cloud the Wanderer, about to give it to you once again on Monday night. I'm here with BC Voice. How you been, man?
I've been chilling, bro. Just staying on the grind, trying to get my diet and exercise back right, and yeah, hoping to transform my body so I can look more like some of the subject matter that we be covering. What's up, bro?
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Rolando? How you been?
I'm all right, man. I barely got off of
How
work a
you
little
been?
earlier.
Oh,
hmm Yeah, man.
okay.
Yeah, I just got off of work. Yeah, well, a little earlier. But yeah, it sounded like you wanted to do a show tonight. I was tripping off that. I was like, oh, after the interview. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I posted it, days ago, but you
No,
didn't see it, so it's all good.
yeah, man.
It's the topic that me and BC Voice was discussing about when we was talking about female muscle addiction and stuff. If I'm saying that right.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So
We were talking
yeah,
about how you can
and
get
I don't
addicted
know.
to it.
Yeah, I get addicted to it, and and it's not always easy to kind of break free from it. So I've
Right.
got some videos that we can discuss
Yeah.
about also. And yeah, this one video I would love to show real quick. It's like an icebreaker, and it's from Star Trek Five, and it's funny. Check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, like they was chasing after her. They was like mesmerized by her muscles, and if they kept following her around to a point where you know she's with somebody, and so they had to go their separate ways. So
Right.
it kind of stuck out. Like it kind of reminds me of female bodybuilder fans and after
Mhm.
female bodybuilders. So that's why I kind of picked that one and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
that was that scene that Klingon lady liked that in that movie. Okay.
yeah, yeah. It
Well,
was
okay.
yeah, it's from Star Trek Five.
Yeah,
Okay.
female
Okay.
bodybuilding fans stalk female bodybuilders like that. Like the moment they keep go following them, and then the moment they see she's with a dude or say with some other female bodybuilders that see that you're lurking behind her, then they're gonna they're gonna dip out real quick and act like they act like they wasn't looking at nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I just don't. I mean, even though I'll probably, if I was out of my mind or something, but yeah, I mean, it's very rare for me to see women like that. I don't see women like that all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's rare for everybody to
Mhm.
see him like that, and that's why unless you're going to a gym that has female bodybuilders at that.
Mm,
Then dudes who are really, really, you could say, addicted or so caught up in their lust form, they start to behave that way. But
okay.
I have, we have what? We have several competitors at the gym I work out at. So it's like, once you've seen them enough, you don't get like, you don't get mesmerized like that anymore. It'll like, if you're attracted to them, it could still attract you, but there's certain ones that I used to be attracted to, and I see them every time at the gym, and I'm like, I'm not interested in them just based on looks anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Same
I've
here.
seen I've seen some where I'm at. And there was one time, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it real. I've recorded a chick, a muscle chick on my phone and stuff. I seen her like
Oh.
the first time she passed by. It was in the park and stuff. And then like one time I was like sitting on the grass, and I was like, I just kind of recorded on my phone, and she was passing by and she waved to me and stuff. I just kept recording. I didn't realize that she she noticed me until I was looking at it. But I
At
don't
least
know
you were
that.
cool with it. At least you were cool with it, because most will be like, "What the f?"
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Cause
Mm,
I
Yeah,
seen her.
most it's like invasion of privacy, man.
Yeah,
They
I,
don't want.
right.
yeah, I seen her a couple of times, and she was running, but I don't know. I ain't say nothing. I probably could have said something, but it just didn't happen like that. And, just I did what I did and stuff. When I seen her like the third time, I know it was a little creepy, but it is what it is.
No, oh, man, I would have shoot. If nobody was.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
probably would have been. I probably would have been
I
crazy
I
enough to probably go talk to her, maybe. Because
I was about to say it is creepy to record her. It's
yeah.
not creepy to go speak to her. Like that's
Mm,
that's one of the things. Now, when you go and speak to her, your energy and your confidence level is going to determine if you're giving off
mm,
creeper vibes to her. Because I know what it's like to
right.
talk to one of these women and be when you're so nervous that it's like your breath is very shallow, you're very like nasally type of breathing, and you're stuttering for words, like you can't really put your sentences together that well. Well, that
Mm,
lack of confidence, those women pick up on that in a heartbeat. All women pick up on it, but they pick up
yeah,
on it very
yeah,
quickly,
mm.
and then that's what makes them start to feel like you are a creep. But you can recover from that feeling. Like there's times when I've started out, like even recently, a couple of weeks ago, I was doing other photos of one girl and turning her into a drawing. And she's very attractive. I mean, she's attractive on her pictures, but she looks way better in person. Like the pictures don't do justice to how muscular and
Wow.
curvy she is.
yeah,
But I was getting a little bit of that feeling at first, but I noticed I mean, I was aware of it, and I just was like, I just breathed and relaxed, and I reminded myself, I'm like, this is my domain. I'm the one that's knows what to do when it comes to drawing, and then also guiding these girls on how to pose and stuff. So eventually, I got back into my own zone and comfort, and then it went very smooth. And so far, the first drawing has been really, really good. So,
Do
she,
I wanted to?
go
I
ahead.
wanted to ask. Yeah, do you meet them a lot, or because the way you talk, man, it's like, dang, man, I wish I was around Royce a little bit more so I could see what's up. But nah,
I'm
I
not
ain't.
around them a lot, like where I'm gonna see
Mm,
one every week or something. But I did tell
mm.
you that the gym I work out at, there's what one IFBB Pro, Marilyn Yee, she works out there, so she's an IFBB Pro bodybuilder. Then we have one, I think, high level NPC or IFBB wellness competitor. Then we have several other wellness girls there. And then we have a bunch of girls who are trying to get into competition shape, whether it's figure or wellness mostly. So at any random time when I'm at the gym, I may see one of them. If they attract or pique my interest enough, then I will go up to them and be like, "Hey, I do these drawings. I mean, I have my cantina with me all the time. I'm always drinking this, and it shows the art. So I'm like, hey, if you want, I can turn you into a drawing, blah, 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 blah. That's my version of an icebreaker. Um, but there's others. I mean, when you're in San Diego, you know, you will see more fit people than you see in most other places. That's one of the reasons why I decided to move here instead of being in LA. That place sucks. I noticed that
Oh,
San Diego has a, yeah, LA is the worst city in America, in my opinion.
oh,
But
I'm not lying to you. You're not lying. You're not lying.
San
Yo, you been to
Diego,
LA,
though,
Rolando?
I lived there when I was a kid, and then left, then went back, and I people were so mean down there. I said, man, I ain't coming back
yeah,
here because I live in the
Bay,
Bay Area, so it's a little nicer. Northern is, but
yeah,
yeah,
the Bay, y'all got cooler people from what I know. All the Bay people that have come moved down here have a chiller, more cultured atmosphere.
yeah.
But in San Diego, though, there is just a higher likely. Like I've sometimes been working shifts sometimes where I draw it out on nearby the beach at this amusement park. I've seen random buff chicks, like especially during the summer. You're more likely to see them, and it's just like, oh shoot. And some of them are visiting from out of town, but when you have a beach town, beach city atmosphere, there's going to be a lot of people who want to start showing off, everything that they've worked out for. So, and
Okay.
sometimes I'll go and speak to them. Sometimes I won't even pitch the whole thing about drawing. Sometimes if I'm playful, I'll just be like, you look like you could be one of the girls on my sticker, and then they go, "Oh, you drew that?" And I'm like, "Yep." And I'll sometimes
Hmm.
just leave it at, I'll just leave it at that sometimes.
Wow.
It's
Mm,
not
Wow.
always about it's not always about shooting your shot with every buff chick you see, you know.
Right. Right.
mm.
But if you haven't, I
Okay.
will say this, because I have dated a few. If you haven't dated any and you're trying to get to date them, then yes, I would say start trying to shoot your shot just so that you can start getting comfortable talking to them and let them get to know you as a person, blah, blah,
Rolando,
Okay.
does it always got to be about female bodybuilders? You don't talk to like regular chicks or nothing like that, or
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking to regular chicks. I'm probably going to go. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to even say this that other night when we had the other show. I'm probably going to go to Medellin, Colombia, because I'm kind of talking to this lady I'm talking to online, and we're planning to meet up at this social mixer. Probably, hopefully, I don't know. But yeah, I'm about
yeah,
to
I hope it
go
don't be
there.
like no 90-day fiance with you, man. You can't,
Mm.
you
Oh
be
no no
getting
no.
you be getting what catfish or some shit like that, man.
Oh no no no
Cause
that
you
nothing
told
like
me that
that.
wild story with that Brazil stuff. I'm like,
Oh, with those dudes, yeah, I was just trying to meet up with some, some guys that were doing, but these guys were wilding out, man.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I couldn't hang with that.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't. Nah. This is something altogether different. This is like a, kind of like a social event where a lot of these women are single and in over there, and then they trying to meet other men because it's not no 90-day fiance visa thing if you want to say that, but some guys go that route, but nah, I'm
but
just I'm just trying to.
you don't really like talk to like women like around your area, or you see women that do
I
they look
mean,
appealing to you, or to
oh
want for
yeah,
you to want to go talk to them?
well, the ones like at the job, because it's so easy to talk
No,
to
not your
good.
job. Not it don't got to be a
Oh,
job. I'm just saying like you see
mm,
some like you don't go to clubs or just like social
nah,
events or nothing like that.
nah, because I got so caught up in this like red pill stuff content online about it is just like
Yeah, yeah, that
blah.
red pill.
Them red pill stuff is poison, bro. It's for dudes
oh,
who've been rejected and are kind of burnt by women, and
mm,
you're just angry. You have a lot of vengeance and want to get back at them some
mm,
way. And
Yeah,
so these guys, a lot of the
right,
information that those red pill guys goes, it takes the insecurities that we all as men have faced from being rejected, you know, so however many times throughout life, and then they weaponize it and use it as a way to get more viewers and then eventually more sales if you're selling products. Um, but
mm,
a lot of the advice they give on the surface, like Fresh and Fit, even the Andrew Tates, on the surface, some of the stuff they're talking about has valid points. But when you go deeper in it, their method of training and teaching you is just to be a bitter, egotistical person who's just trying to use women left and right. And women who
mm,
can see through that, they're not going to be attracted to you. Like, they're just going to view you as basically a petty, insecure boy. They're not going to ever tell you that, but they can
mm.
see through it. I have a guy at one of my jobs who he like looks up to Andrew Tate like as like a almost like a father type of figure, and
Oh,
he tries to walk like him, all this other stuff. And then when you see, I mean, there's several times I've talked to girls, they can see through his BS in a heartbeat. One of them the other day even called him a pussy, oh pussy man, just because she's like, he's trying to be hard and all this other stuff, but she's like, really, he's a softie. And I'm like. it's so funny because he can't see that all these women see through that facade, you know.
Mm. Mm.
I was gonna say too, Ro, that you should definitely go to social places. Like you don't have to go to clubs and stuff to drink. Like I don't go to clubs anymore to like drink, but I'm going like tonight after this. The reason I'm leaving like at an hour is because I'm gonna go. This one chick that I met at the Kava bar. It's Kava's like an alternative to alcohol.
Mm. Okay.
She's seen me draw a few times there, and then she started chatting, and then she asked me if I was gonna head out there. So I was like, shoot, yeah, I'll be over there. And she's not a bodybuilder, a muscle woman. She's just a regular
Oh.
chick. And she's seen me drawing the buff chick, so I was like, I know that that doesn't turn her off or anything. So
Oh.
I was
Okay.
like, yeah, we can go just socialize. That's it.
Yeah. What's
Okay.
up,
Cool.
George?
Evening.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
George.
yeah,
What up?
today's topic. I mean, I remember you did a similar topic on this. This was like female muscle addiction and stuff. You had some few guests up in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Because the thing is, like anything, it can be fetishized, like we talked about before. Just like in any other thing out there, guys like a certain type of woman. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. It can be just, just something about a woman that would draw a guy to him, like. And I remember my days when I used to run and go to the club and hang out. And I worked in a strip club and I hang out with women all evening. And sometimes we sit, we chill, we talk about things. You see a lot of things, you hear a lot of things in this world. Me, I'm not looking for anybody right now. Like I said, I'm content with what I'm doing right now. I'm in my pajamas, when relaxing, because I was actually nodding off, but I heard your beat. I said, oh, he's doing his thing. I said, I'll jump on for a bit.
all right, all right. Well, welcome. I could
Hmm.
play another video.
I've never made a video like this before, but there was a time where I thought that men were worse than women when it came to the fetishization of women, but it seems like that is not true. This comment right here is from my most recent video, which was a review about the movie Love Lies Bleeding, where I said that it was a horrible movie simply because it has a lot of fetishization of muscular women, and I thought that it was not a great representation of bodybuilders in general. I got thousands of hate comments, calling me homophobic, calling me stupid, literally like the dumbest shit ever. Now let's clear one thing up. Nothing about my review was about the sexuality of the characters or the relationship or even the intimate scenes. A lot of people in the comments were like telling me that I'm referencing the intimate scenes and calling them fetish. No, those were completely normal. What I'm specifically referencing is the last 20 minutes of the movie. Now, heavy spoilers here. If you want to watch the movie, scroll because I don't want to ruin it for you. However, towards the end of the movie, there was specifically one scene where she turns into a very giant woman, holds a small man between her thighs with her toes out, pins him down by his arms or something like that, and then words such as finish, coming, and come are said while he is in that position getting tortured. A lot of people may not see that as fetish content, but as someone who is muscular, who has been in this industry for the past 3 years of my life, some things just ring a bell in my head where I'm like, that's not right. The scenes in the gym where she's all oiled up and her muscles are pulsing and she looks great, there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed seeing that. The intimate scenes, there's nothing wrong with that. It is simply just the small things throughout the movie that I picked up as a person, part of this community, the bodybuilding female community, that simply made me uncomfortable because it expands that fetish. We rarely get representation in the media. And I know the LGBT community is going to say the same thing. People rarely get representation. But when was the last time you saw a muscular woman to that extent in a good movie? Literally, I can't even think of one movie. And what's crazy is the only time that we got that, it got ruined completely, and now we have thousands of men in the comments being like, oh, I can't wait to watch this. I love muscular women. It's disgusting. Not to mention the other things in the movie, such as the substance abuse that was happening with specific PEDs. That is completely just misinformation. Now, A lot of people don't know much about bodybuilding. I am a coach. I know a lot about bodybuilding, and I can assure you that substances don't make you act like that. They don't make your muscles grow like that fast, at least in the span of 4 weeks. They don't make you go crazy like that, except for a trend maybe, and women don't even take that. And they don't make you crazy to that extent. That is just insane. It is just a lot of harmful misinformation that is being spread about the bodybuilding community for specifically women, and I would expect women to be supportive of other women when it comes to that, instead of literally yelling in my comments, hating on me, saying that something is wrong with me for calling something out that could be harmful towards my community. And for the people in the comments being like, oh, but 90% of your content is like that, what about your content? What part of my content is me fetishizing myself, bro? I'm allowed to feel hot sometimes. I can make a thirst trap when I feel good. If an Asian person made a thirst trap, does that mean the Asian person is fetishizing Asian people? What? There's no... Just make it make sense, bro.
Yeah, anybody seen that? Anybody see Blood, Lies, and Bleeding?
No, I
No,
thought it
never.
was weird.
No, I
I
never
thought
seen
it
it.
was weird.
like I said, no, bodybuilder. She had a part in it. Monica Perez. They had to do some because she has a lot of tattoos. Had to do some body work so the cover of her tattoos because it's supposed to be based in the 80s. I remember you did a thing about it. You talked about it. I looked at
Well,
it.
I seen it. I seen it a few times. I mean, I see. Yeah, what she talking about? She's talking about it has like this muscle fantasy at the end, and the girl that the girl that's in it, she gets into it with her father and stuff, and so her other girlfriend, she turns into a big gigantic muscle girl and grabs him up and restrains him, and to a point where she telling her to her girlfriend, like, shoot the guy, shoot. That's her father in the movie. This Ed Harris, and I know what she's talking about. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a fetish. That's a fantasy. It's a muscle
yeah.
fantasy. I've
There
seen
was
those
this
things.
guy.
Dudes do.
Not real quick. There was this guy that he do muscle. He draws like on these muscle fantasies, and it was almost kind of similar to that. Like, but he does like this muscle drain type of stuff. Some of his characters, I think they're like a bit Amazonian type thing, and
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen it.
Is this artist named Lazaro? Because Lazaro, it was the big
Lazaro.
guy.
No,
He was very popular in the 90s and
no,
early 2000s.
he makes comics on Mighty Muscle Comics. I'll
Oh yeah,
send
I
you.
know who you're talking
Oh,
about.
I've
I know who
seen
you're talking
those.
about. Yeah.
I've seen those.
Yeah,
I'm not really into that.
Me either.
Yeah,
I never really got into it.
I mean, I used to like it just to learn drawing certain muscle poses, but when I saw that none of them covered boxing stuff, like hardly any of them did, I was like I couldn't learn anything from them. And most of those guys are not that great at drawing. They focus too much on making the muscles as big and like giving a woman like an 8 pack or a 16 pack. They go
Yeah, I hate that.
extreme and they don't focus on making it look realistic and attractive. It's so much they go too far in that whole fetishization mode where they make the girl 100 feet. She's giganta basically, and got 2,400 abs, and then her biceps are the size of like what's it called, like the Twin Towers or some shit. And it's just like, bro, this is weird now. I think
Yeah, it
that's
is.
probably what this lady was referring to with that movie, because I heard someone else talk about it and they said it was weird.
and also like when she was talking about the peds, like in the movie, the girl is taking peds to a point where like if she gets like if things get really intense, and I don't know, like she gets angry or gets excited, her muscles starts getting bulged up.
Whoa.
It's like a
Yeah,
type of thing. I'm telling you, like, you gotta
bro,
check
this is
it.
the
Like,
director.
They don't
like
work like that.
Yeah, the
It's
director is just going off of fantasy.
It
This
Yeah.
it
director is
just
Yo,
it,
just
it, it
it was
just
one
sounds.
scene. It was this one scene where the dude, she murdered this dude, and she grabbed him up. She was waiting for him, and because he was beating he was abusing his wife, and in the movie, I know y'all don't care, but in the movie, the girl's sister, he was beating this girl up, his wife, and so
Mm,
the girl that the bodybuilder chick in the movie, she felt like she had to do something about it, and she waited to him. He waited for him in his house and then she beat him up, and she grabbed him up and hit him against the table, and then he died. That type
Well,
of thing. Yeah.
well,
wow.
I think the only drug I heard that can make you go that crazy is Halo. Halo can make you go that crazy, but an
Mm.
average, most steroids or peds don't make it. She's either, they really, I think with some movie stuff they
Oh yeah,
kind
yeah,
of,
yeah. I was talking on the phone with my friend real quick. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, man.
they
Please
kind
mute
of,
your phone, bro.
yeah,
Please mute your phone.
yeah, they kind of overdo
No.
it with the stuff for steroids. Like you ever remember the movie? Uh, it was what's the name of the movie? I know the movie. It's a football movie. It had
I know what
James
you're talking
Brown in
about.
it.
Yep,
Yeah, and
yep.
the dude
I
in
know
it,
what you're talking about.
he remember he was in the Batman Returns. We played the son of to what's his face's character, and he's going around busting his head to windows and say, "Start a
Hmm.
line," you know.
Yep.
That doesn't always happen like that. That person either
Right.
has issues mentally, but steroids doesn't. All it does is help you in recovery, depending on what you're taking. There's some stuff that's
Mm.
really bad out there, but then there's some stuff you might have been on coke or something. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
there's
some.
extreme stuff, and you can be mixing a bunch of stuff as well as when
Mhm.
you're dieting too hard and all that other stuff, like cutting out your carbs and those fats. That stuff is good. Fats and stuff are good for your brain. So when you're cutting those things out to an extreme and you're combining it with, say, too many extreme drugs, then yes, you get those weird occasions where some people like spaz out. But I haven't seen up close. I have not seen an actual like roid rage by any human being so
Well,
far
see,
that I knew was
well,
on
well, I
steroids.
mean, but you know what? But I think people try to link it to that whole Chris Benoit situation, and I think that's why, and it got blown up like that. So it's like, oh, people, oh, see that, oh,
with
they're gonna
with
kill their whole
Chris,
family, or but
with Chris, he has some mental issues, especially wrestlers. They do a lot of wrestling might be fake, but those bumps are real. You can get
Yeah, that
concussion.
falling, shoot,
The
they
falls you
those
got to
dudes
do.
can
damn.
break their back.
Yeah, I
Mm.
mean that's why some of them get onto certain drugs. Things not just cocaine. Like remember your
Morphine.
commercials, your promos with Macho Man. Like yeah, and the cream of the crop. You wonder when he's sweating like and or that one years ago it was this Dr. Death. We slapped that guy, the reporter, and this man said go ahead because he was on something else. He wasn't and it's just that situation, whatever mental issues that Chris was going through, he needs some help, counseling, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about women, but they said somebody was trying to scare me one time. They said, "Oh, don't date them or be with them because they could, like their aggressiveness will start to show." And I was like, "Wait, what?" I don't know. It's some
No,
random cat.
I know
that's
women
I
who's
was
I
nothing
talking.
mean,
about those who are aggressive.
Mhm.
yeah, I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, there's
Some women just have
some
that
people who
nature.
just, yeah, it's not like that. The ones I've dated have been mostly calm. At
Yeah.
times they can be very like anal in terms of like perfectionistic, but I have the same
mhm.
issue as an artist, so it's like I kind of understand it to an extent, but never like these machinations that people come up with. I want to see though, Kayla, when are we gonna start talking about actual like people addicted to female muscle? Because I think we probably have all experienced that.
Yeah.
I mean, what you mean like just like what you mean?
Well, the topic that you brought up was being addicted to
Oh,
muscular women. So I was like, I think one of the ways, because it can manifest for people, I guess, differently. But I'll say in my own experience, when because I'm actually going through a phase where I'm breaking out of it, like where
oh,
I
okay.
don't go and I don't have the desire to go and look on the internet for pictures of muscle women like I used to in the past. Partly too is because they look way better in person. Like it's so weird seeing certain ones in person, and you're like, bro, photos do not do you any justice at all. And this goes for most of them.
Mm.
And when once you say that you're spending too much time, say scrolling, because it's easy on Instagram. Say if you have female bodybuilding already in the algorithm, or when you pull up Instagram, say to look at a message someone sent you, but all of a sudden you see some buff like Miss Beefy post or something, and then that causes you to start scrolling through her stuff,
Yeah,
or just going onto websites and going to like female bodybuilding forum or seratus.org and going and scrolling. And sometimes me, because I try to use it for art reference, I'll start collecting, 10, 20, hundreds of images, and then not necessarily even start drawing them because I spent so much time looking at them. Um, that and then you get so excited that depending on your level of restraint you may want to go and act on that excitement, and then all of a sudden by the time you're done doing that you're super tired and you kind of have thrown off like half of your day just from one thing like that. That sounds kind of crazy, but I know it's happened not just to me but to others.
my thing.
And I think the addiction goes way further than that. And the reason I'm trying to break out of this whole thing is because I'm like, man, I just want to start meeting them and dating them in real life more frequently versus looking on the internet to get excited. I'm like, I'm
And I
I'm
agree.
done
And
with
I
that
agree.
phase. I'm done with that
I
phase.
agree.
Well, to piggyback on what you're saying, yeah, like I didn't, yeah, you kind of put me focused a bit on that. Yeah, that's what made me want to kind of do it, like, cause I do, like, I do get tired of scrolling on Instagram, and sometimes it's like to like make shorts and stuff. Yo, Rolando, you gotta mute your phone and you got the TV on, bro. If that's you, hello.
Me? No, me?
I'm hearing TV. That's why I'm hearing TV. That's why.
Oh,
I'm
oh
actually
yeah.
my
It's
air conditioner's running, but I got my TV on mute. My heat's running. It's kind of cold.
mm,
I don't hear much at all. Like I hear mostly you all.
All right,
It's a little
so but
background
I'm
noise.
hearing it though. That's what kind of I'm hearing it. But anyway, I
yeah.
get tired of like scrolling, and then I usually like put shorts together, and after a while you get tired of shorts, and then for some reason you looking at certain doing of clips for sales, and then you like such wrestling videos and stuff, and that's where
That's
at
that's the
times,
thing is
because
you're
I'll do
you're
that. Like I'll do that. Do I don't always look at that all the time, but there's moments where I do, and when I do, I'll get like a couple of videos. Sometimes it's female bodybuilders. Sometimes they're just session wrestlers and stuff like that. But
that thing because
it do happen. So
what you do, you follow a lot of the ladies like I do, and what how these social media platforms work, they go by your algorithms, and they post that stuff on you. Like sometimes I get stuff in my timeline, especially on YouTube. Like it'll pop up because it'd be an interview with somebody, or it'd be a competition, or it'd be somebody's something other, because I do a lot of content on this. You know, I still even I do content on MMA and stuff. I get stuff pop up in that because a friend of mine, he just did a thing about a situation between two fighters, and it popped up to my timeline. Because that content also do work on that. It's just about what your interest is, your content, what you follow, and that's how they work. They just go by your history. you know, like you could be somebody who
That
be in porn, and you'll see a lot of stuff from strippers and dancers and porn stars and stuff like that. And yeah, I used to work in a strip club, so that's a pop up every now and then, but not as much like it used to.
And they're
Yeah.
designed to do that. They're designed to do that because these companies want us to be hooked on scrolling through our phone. Because then they can start showing their ads and all this other stuff. If they're paying, like sometimes These buff people are actually like promoting products and stuff like that. So it's a whole marketing commercial scheme, but it takes discipline to be able to recognize this is not what initially what I opened this app to do. I initially opened this app to go look at a message or to go look at something else or to go collect some art reference, in my case, or whatever. I need to stop scrolling and go and do that, or turn off my notifications on my app and all this other stuff so that I can avoid these distractions. Because the whole scrolling,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even without the scrolling, like before Instagram even existed, I remember I would spend sometimes 3 to 4 to 5 hours at night looking up pictures of different female bodybuilders or seeing the clips because certain ones you could get for free. Um, and that when you're taking that many hours on a day, it's just like someone who's playing video games too much every day. You're losing time in this virtual world where you could be spending that time being more of whatever you want to be or getting stuff done in the real world that you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
So for instance, recently, I mean, I've been pretty much on point with my workouts for the last, I'd say, about a year, but I'm now trying to take the next step, especially with cutting back on diet and just focusing more when I'm working out, not just going through the motions and actually trying to get this much more lean, ripped physique that I really want. So I know that going and first thing in the morning, I'll go wake up and take a shit. Like having my phone on me and then starting to scroll is a bad idea. So one of the things I do, stop doing that. Then I go immediately when I'm done with that, eat and go work out because the idea for me is stop scrolling to look at muscle women, start seeing the ones that you see in real life and make them also more attracted to me. Not only, I mean, a lot of times it is going to be through the body, because they're going to see that as, oh, you have common interest as me. You've worked yourself up to have this amazing physique,
Mm.
and that's only something that someone who's already gone through the process knows what it's like. And then also, when you're getting away from addictive behaviors, you will start to become more confident because you've replaced short-term pleasure with long-term discipline. And it goes beyond just the whole muscle woman thing. I know one of the things that I've also supplemented in to keep me from scrolling is I make myself do focused drawings where I don't even look at reference. I don't go look on the internet or whatever. I just focus on certain characters, and it can be my buff women, but I'm not gonna go look at buff women for reference. I have certain ones that I already know from memory, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna focus on drawing this character because she is for my story. It's not just for to please me, versus spending that time scrolling through the internet or listening to noise. And you can apply it to a lot of stuff, but I like the fact that Kayla brought this topic up because whenever I'm at events and I do see most of the other female muscle fans go towards these women, you can tell on the surface most of them live on the internet. Most of these guys don't have social skills or confidence, and it's like they fill most of their days up just scrolling and looking and jacking off to buff women. And then when they meet them in person, it's like they're ill-equipped. They haven't trained themselves or given themselves the proper tool to be able to hold conversations with them and then also attract that woman to them. You know, that's
Yeah.
why
Well.
so many female bodybuilders call dudes schmoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
why I wing myself. The only time is like every time when I see George KLA posts, I'm like, dang, they still on them. They still putting out content, and that's why I avoid it because I got busy stuff going on. I'm helping out my mother.
Yep.
I'm working. As you can see, I said I was getting off of my security job at YouTube. You know, and I got so much stuff going on. It's like my mind is just, and only downtime I have, I might look at a photo every now and then, but I'm not really focused on it that much these days.
Hmm.
You
And
know.
with me, I get it because I was a fan of bodybuilding for a long time. And when I was taking my mom, I needed an outlet to help me, and when just deal with her stuff. And this was something that I got into. And then when she was gone, I didn't have anything else. Like everybody else had their lives, and I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. This was something that kept me busy. Was for me, it was a great opportunity when I went to Tampa this summer and hanged out and talked with some people and did some interviews. And then, when was in Atlanta, I met a lady and friends. We talked. Some ladies I'm still cool with. Sometimes, they're like this one thing when you're cool with some of these ladies, they'll see some stuff like funny stuff. Like I just got a thing from a lady just a while ago before I came out here. We shared a video. Was it how they're talking about doing tariffs on pastas from Italian? She told me she's a pasta loving whore. I told her, well, they make pasta in China, so I'm a Chinese loving whore. It's good to have that, but also understand that there's limits to it. Be aware of how you act or behave. It like anything, it's like a drug. It can get addictive. Once you get into it, you get so involved into it. It can, if it's not careful, consume your life. You can miss up on opportunities. Maybe just meeting regular women sometimes. Chasing after those women that you're not going to ever have to. And then also there has to be an exchange of attraction. If she knows she's attracted to you, attracted to her, good. It doesn't work as one way. you know. And yeah, we go back to Smo thing because yeah, we could call Smos. That's how it is sometimes. It's unavoidable. But the thing is, it's about how far you want to go in this. Understand, you're not in a relationship with this woman. Most of these women have either girlfriends or boyfriends or husband. They like the attention, like anything, like any woman, they like the attention. And also, it's good to be respectful. But again, don't let it consume your life that much.
Mm-mm.
Like again, if you're cool with them, they're cool with you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, to
nah.
to me, to each his own.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I could play this one video. Check this
Oh
out. It's
hey,
about
oh hey,
porn
KLA.
addiction.
Yeah, KLA. I got to run though. I got another day of work, man. To be honest with y'all.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Thanks for
Yeah.
hopping
Uh,
on.
All right, no
thanks for
problem,
hopping
All
King.
in,
right.
bro.
All right. Hey, I'll
All
talk to
right.
you, Royce. All right.
All right,
All right,
catch you in a
KLA.
minute.
Talk to you. Definitely. All right.
So yeah, I'll play this.
porn addiction can do to your brain. Now, I'm not the morality police, and I'm simply sharing the neuroscience behind this and how this could be affecting people, especially in an age in which we have easy access to things like porn on the internet. So, porn intensely stimulates the reward system, especially the ventral striatum, which then causes powerful dopamine surges similar to patterns seen in substance and gambling addictions. And with repetition, the brain becomes sensitized to sexual cues on screen, which then drives stronger cravings and compulsive seeking. At the same time, the system can become desensitized, and studies have shown that there's reduced gray matter in reward regions in people who are addicted to porn, and weaker connections to the prefrontal cortex and a blunted response to normal sexual and emotional cues. All of that means that people would need more stimulation for the same effect, and they would develop less pleasure from real intimacy. This also affects circuits for impulse control and emotional regulation, and it can weaken self control, it can increase compulsive behavior, and reduce emotional connection and relationship satisfaction. And remember, porn addiction doesn't just affect the person, but it can affect other people too. And studies have shown that it can lead to sexual dysfunction with partners, extramarital affairs, high risk sexual behaviors, and in some cases, intimate partner violence. Again, I'm not the morality police, but it's important to remember that where you get your dopamine matters. And healthy dopamine comes from real relationships, alive with purpose and with challenges, with movement and with presence. And when you protect your reward system, you protect your motivation, you protect your relationships, and ultimately, you protect your long term well being.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
that.
So I this this wasn't the only video I got. It was other porn addictions thing. I wanted to mix it up with addiction, really. So yeah, I mean, there's moments where I could get a little bit, addicted to, I don't want to say porn, but fetishes and kinks. Because I'm not really like into that hardcore porn and all that type of
Right,
stuff.
right.
Like the
Wow.
most I get is it's like a hand job or blow or a face sitting. That's it. That's my limit. I never really was really delve into that type of stuff. I mean, they even have like gay porn and stuff. I'm like, whoa,
I'm nothing new.
it's out of that's
Yeah.
out of my that's out of my division.
Well, even
So
bro, even when I was in high school and my buddies started getting into like watching porn and stuff, they it never got me. Like me watching a dude or multiple dudes banging this one chick never
Mm,
aroused me. I
yeah,
always got aroused by seeing muscular women, usually muscular women boxing. Now that is a fetish, so even though it's not quote unquote called porn, it still stimulates. It does all the stuff that he just described when you're watching porn.
but
So when I became more aware of how that stuff has been working on the brain, especially because I'm easily scatterbrained, and some of that scatterbrain is come from all those years of looking all that stuff. So in order for me to actually get better at my own job, I have to increase my ability to focus. And when I came across that understanding a few weeks ago, actually, I realized, okay, one thing you got to do is stop the scrolling. Another thing you got to do is anytime an image of one pops up and it's not relevant to what you're necessarily trying to do or try to accomplish in life, you got to click away from it, you know? It's easier said than done, but when you become aware of it, when you become mindful of it, you can slowly build the muscle to fight back and um, like gain what he talked about, the simple pleasures of, say, even if she's not a muscular woman, having a pretty girl and you're talking to her and you make her laugh. Like there is a small, simple joy that is in stuff like that that you kind of lose when you get so lost in your porn addiction or muscle fantasy addiction, you know?
yeah.
yeah. Like when I was coming up, we didn't. My brothers and sisters had magazines and stuff like that. Then I remember my brother used to have some videos. I used to watch his videos. We used to, we were younger, we used to sneak them. I remember sometimes. I mean, one time there was a video store where we lived at, and we got a video. We got like one was an action movie, and the other one was a movie with lots of scenes in it. Now we were kids at that age. I think I was maybe about 20. My brother was 17. My other nephew was he was 16. One was the other one was 17. And we're watching the action movies. Yeah. And then we watched the other movie. There was some sex scenes in it, and my mom knows we were kind of quiet. And when you're quiet, she's suspicious. And she saw the movie, what it was. She took it out and she hid it till we took it back to the video store. People, children, men, women, we're sexual about it. We're the only creatures. Animals don't take sex as pleasure. It's more for procreation, for survival. It's their nature. We
Some
take,
animals do. Some of the animals do. Dolphins will go and have sex just for
yeah,
pleasure.
but
So almost
but
all animals
those,
feel pleasure when they have sex, but
yeah,
we're the only ones,
those are
we
those are
dolphins, that only
those are
do
usually
it.
the more of the higher, more like level with the brains, like with apes and most things. But other animals, they just do it out of nature, and
Yeah.
we take
They
pleasure
still
out of
get they still get pleasure. They still
it.
get
Yeah,
pleasure from doing
yeah.
it. They
But
just
it's not
don't go and
procreation.
pursue it. They don't
Yeah,
go pursue it just for the pursuit of
yeah. But
pleasure.
it's more about procreation for them than it is for us. Now
Right.
we take pleasure out of it. That's why porn is still around. And also is a billion-dollar business. Not just companies can get money out for like petroleum companies, like they make stuff like latex. They make things like oils and other things from it, and they make money from it. And that's how there's a lot of money in the porn industry. And it's funny how I live in North Carolina, and in my home state, because we're part of the Bible Belt, where they have now outlawed it, where you can't even jump online to find porn. Some places are
yeah,
mostly,
someplace
yeah,
Oklahoma. I heard about that.
yeah, most of the a block, but there's still other places you can find it. It's not that hard. You know,
Mm.
that's what the guy said when he watches.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not with that. Because you want to have that stuff just doing it.
And I
Not to
think
say
what
that
they
I
yeah, I
can't.
think what they're trying to do, I think they're trying to make it harder for guys who are like for kids who are like 10 to 12 years old. Because
Yeah,
nowadays they're getting way like these kids have way easier
yeah.
yeah,
access
that's true.
to it than
That's
It,
true.
we did, bro. It
it,
was way harder for us to get access to that
it
type of
used.
stuff.
I used to
Used to be an
remember.
adventure just to go and get that stuff.
I used to remember when I download a video, it had to take you like a 2 hours because
Yep, yep,
you might get a virus or something. You know, now kids can
yep.
find it anywhere because they grew up with this technology. We were getting into it, but kids now grew up like, especially when phones and stuff like around about the early 2000s, late 90s. Many kids now, it's been like 25 years. It's 25 years since 2000 hit. It's gonna be, and these kids from 2000 up to now grew up with this. Most of us didn't. You want to watch a dirty movie, you had to go to a video store, or there used to be a place. There's a place called South the Border. It's up the road, and they have at least there's a shop called Dirty Old Man's Shop. You can go in there. I was old enough to go in there. I was like 18. You can find pornos and whips and lingerie, stuff like that. I remember the first time I went to strip club, and it's an adventure because this is one thing you see in the movies, but it's totally different when you're actually there. It's just an experience. I worked there, hanged out there, I learned some things, and had some fun with some ladies too. But the thing is that people just we sometimes we if it's not drugs, it's not money, it's not sex, it's not food, we will get addicted. I just did a couple interviews with ladies who had to fight with drug addiction. They found bodybuilding because of something that helped them out with the addiction. It's a new addiction for them. It's just and the thing about gay porn, that stands alone. Like they do girl porn. It's popular for a good minute, but guys like to see guys banging chicks because they want to be that guy. They wish they're that guy. There's one I like. This one thing I'm gonna tell you. Is a guy. If you ever heard of him, Wesley Pipes. I can't stand him. He kills me when he does. You're like, what did that girl? What did that guy? What did that guy? It's just
I'm not ever gonna check it out, so I'm
yeah.
not interested. Not interested in developing or trying to find new addictions. I'm trying to curb the ones that I have and just try to be more productive. Um, because yeah, the one of the ways to curb an addiction is to replace it with something more fulfilling. Um, so like for me, I'm just gonna ever since I got to actually have some intimacy and relationships with muscle women, I think that's probably too what started my declining interest in looking at them online. Because what happens with me, I have a very analytical comparison brain, and it actually bugs me a lot. But one of the things that would always when I look at a picture online, even if I look pictures of some of the girls that I messed with and be like, yeah, this looks cool, but I remember seeing how big her ass was or her muscles were in person. It was way, way better. I'm like, I'd rather experience that more frequently than seeing it on pictures and stuff like that. So it's been a slow, gradual disinterest in the whole picture thing, look or just looking at content online. But it's like, okay, well, how do I replace that addiction? Well, my ultimate goal is to start having more encounters and interactions with buff women on a regular basis. And I also want to feel comfortable in my own skin when I'm like that. Because one of the other things too, back when I was dating and having sex with these girls, like sometimes I was in somewhat decent shape, but I was never as ripped as I wanted to be. So I was like, dang, like I feel kind of chubby at times, and I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like how I felt versus how she felt. So there've been a few times where I felt like on point with my physique, and then also felt them, and they're on point with their physique, so it felt great. But I was like, man, there's steps that I need to take to try to transform myself into a better physical being so that I can start to enjoy these encounters with these other special physical beings whenever I see them. Um, but
I
you know,
I
it
think
may not happen because, like, I'm sorry, but one thing is that, like we were talking about too, as you drop some of these addictions, you do start to get uh, just around rising arousal in regular women. Like the girl I was with at the movies Tuesday, like for whatever reason that night, even though she's out of shape actually, she's thicker but out of shape, and for whatever reason that night, I was getting more attracted to her. I was like, dang, I almost want to go in, but it happens like that. I guess when you start to cut out the addiction, all of a sudden the interest or pleasure in the real woman, the regular ones that you see, starts to increase again.
I think like the one about addiction, like you could be addicted to something else and it opens the door to another one, and then you got to figure out a way to kind of uh, alleviate that other addiction. If
Hmm.
I'm saying that word, if I'm using that word right, yeah,
Yeah,
because
you're right.
I go, yeah, because I deal with that. Like if I'm not looking at muscle women, I see women on the street, and sometimes I've done some things, my phone stuff, and at the time I was addicted to that, and then after a while, I just kind of I was like looking at it like, damn, this shit is corny, but then. But then, yeah, after a while, I would do it. I would do it because when it was running and stuff for some reason, and it was like these fantasies and stuff. But but then the thing was, then it's like I would do sessions and stuff, and you just trying to break free from that a bit because sometimes it could be a financial thing too as well. I mean, it's one thing to another. So, yeah.
That's something I never ever did with sessions because where I live at, it's not very busy. It's not a lot to do. If you want to do something like you have to go like maybe someplace like Charlotte, Raleigh, or Fayetteville. And that's a long way to go just to meet somebody for maybe an hour or so and pay them like about $100 some. But mostly just watching videos, movies, magazines, the old fashioned stuff. And then just being around just people that you feel comfortable with, especially if it's a woman. If you're attracted to her, you like her. She may not be your fantasy girl, but maybe she's just a woman that you want to be with that time. You know, I know everybody's going to have their addictions. It's hard to fight them or break them or change them or whatever. It's just a part of life. But you don't want to let it take too much control of your life. Because if it does, it's going to be hard. And you try to get yourself into the real world, and doing this content and talking about these ladies and get to meet them in person or just, them having contact with you, it can be a lot, but you don't let it take too much a hold of yourself. Sometimes you have to just say back, so you know what, it's just doing, it's like having a job. You're just doing the job, but it's a job you can have fun with. Like I said again, I enjoyed my time when I went to Florida. And I enjoyed my time when I was in Atlanta, hanging with Christina, and just enjoying when I got to meet my first bodybuilder, female bodybuilders. When my man Glenn had his premiere for his magazine, and that was exciting for me. And a couple of ladies I knew from social media, and we're still good friends. Yeah, addiction is something that's just, it's about learning control and have a handle of it. Because if you let it, consume you too much, it can really affect your life.
Yeah, I was about to say they like it doesn't have to be black and white either. Like it's not like, oh, you're if you're addicted to looking at pictures and videos of muscle women, like you have to stop completely. The truth is, say if you're doing it, say if you find yourself spending an hour every day doing it, well, then you start looking at ways on cutting it back. You'd be like, I'm gonna do 30 minutes every day or an hour every other day. And then the next week, I may do, I may cut it back some more and some more. And you just see what your comfort level is. Because you may find yourself one day, you may can be content with being like, I just look at the stuff once a week for about an hour, and that's it. And that's a huge improvement versus say someone who's looking at it 3 hours every day. You know, that's a huge improvement. Just like
It's like a
someone say who,
vegetarian.
well, I mean, like someone who's an alcoholic who
Yeah,
say they never stop drinking, but if there's if it's a guy who went from drinking a fifth of whiskey every day, every night, and then all of a sudden now he's only drinking a couple glasses or like maybe 3 or 4 drinks total in a whole week, that's a huge improvement. He has his addiction under control. It doesn't mean he can't go back to being addicted. He could, but he should. What it is he shouldn't beat himself up those times now that he allows himself to have 3 or 4 drinks. You know, because it's like if I look back at what I used to be like, I used to be sitting there knocking down dang near a whole bottle of whiskey every night. Now I'm in a much better place, and I'm able to still allow myself some measure of pleasure because we all need pleasure. Human beings I think almost all creatures need some level of pleasure to a degree. But especially as us humans, because we're so stressed out, our minds make us so stressed out, we need some level of pleasure, even mindless pleasure, whether it's playing video games or watching stupid TV shows, listening to, I hate the news, but some people get their fix from listening to drama of the news, whatever, or if it's from porn addiction or from female muscle worship, that type of stuff, or getting a session, if you're able to control it to where you're doing it on a very rare basis and still able to accomplish other things you're doing in your life, I think you're on the right track in life.
Yeah, I live out the country. I know guys that after a long week they go hunting.
Hmm.
They go like go shooting. They go hit to the bars and chill out.
Yep.
Or they just have a little cookout or get together, or watch the games. My nephew loves football. I used to love football when I was younger, but I kind of grew out
Same
of it.
here. I
And
grew out of it too.
you try to find something the relieve when you're like, as when you hold a job, it's a stressful job, and you're just like, what, you can't wait till the weekend, and then you wake up, it's Saturday, it's Saturday morning, and you say, I know what, I'm just gonna sit and watch cartoons, eat cereal, do some chores, then it's Sunday, you do something, then you wake up, it's Monday morning, it's back to the grind again. I know it wasn't that long ago. We had some people had a 4-day weekend. You're off that Thanksgiving, that Friday, that Saturday, and then Sunday you go, oh my God, I gotta go back. But you know what? As long as you can find something to relieve that stress and pressure, it helps you. And then again, you have to be careful because sometimes, a job's a job, and if it gets to a point where it's stressed you out, either you gotta, find something else because it's tough out there to find something decent enough where you can afford to make a living off of and without it killing you physically, mentally killing you. And it's good you can find something to relieve it. It's the stress, but addiction is just something that it's you got to get a control. I know some people they get some help. They talk to a therapist. Sometimes they just need somebody to understand what they're going through. They go to join groups. Like there's a like for Overeaters Anonymous, AA, Drug Anonymous. Sometimes if you find somebody who's going through what you go through and they understand it and they beat their addiction, maybe what worked for them may not work for you. But
Do
you
you
might
have
not.
an addiction?
I'm addicted to anything. Food,
What's
drink,
anything like?
money.
But what's your addiction that you struggle
He
with?
was listening. He was saying food. He was going on saying some other stuff.
Money.
Mm.
And it's just. But that's the thing is some
I'm
people.
addicted to food too. I'm addicted to
Yeah,
food.
yeah.
All
It,
right.
yeah, it doesn't. Sometimes it may not be just one thing. It might be different things.
Hmm.
Or you just addicted to
Yep.
life. You like to enjoy just going and just traveling, doing something. But if it's not addiction where it's like it takes control of you and just holds you, and you just can't fight against it. There's sometimes addiction will kill people. because they chase after that. It's like with drugs, you chase after that first time hit. And I know family members and friends who's gone through it, and they broke it, but I know people who didn't because it took them, and sex can be dangerous too if you're not wearing protection, or sleeping with the wrong people, and then it can actually kill you, or it's just anything. You have to be careful with it. It can be dangerous if you don't know how to control yourself or stay out of situations that could be harmful to your health.
To talk about the addiction thing with food even more, like I've been addicted to bad food ever since I was little because that's what I grew up on, being from Texas. But honestly, there was a point where even when I was getting healthier with my dieting, I would allow myself one big cheat meal a week, and it would be usually pizza or even two whole pizzas, and I would eat them by myself, not all at one time, but like over the course of the day. And it was good for me for a while because I was like, I still needed some kind of pleasure. Because if I cut out the pizza or any pleasure food entirely, I became very depressed and angry. But what I've noticed too now is it's like, okay, the whole pizza once a week thing was working for you for a while. Well, now if you want to take it to another step, you can still eat something else, but now it's got to be different than pizza or like make it less calories. So now if you really craving something really bad for you, make it like a chocolate bar, a really, really good chocolate bar, like one of them
I
fancy,
got a sugar
fancy ones.
addiction. That
Yeah,
that
but
that that
just cutting down on it, like
yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll look at cakes, and sometimes it's like almost like a naked woman. Yeah, you gotta restrain yourself.
Sugar
You
is
gotta.
like is about as addictive as cocaine or crack or any
Yep,
kind of drug because that's what it
yep.
say.
Yeah,
It's white. It's that white sugar. You be like, you be like, like sometimes, especially my mom used to cook. Oh my God, she's cooked cakes for the holidays and was hanging out with my family on Thanksgiving. Afterwards, my sister said she wanted a banana pudding. And I used to
mm,
love that. My mom used to make it. My sister did a pretty good job too. You get the bananas, you get the pudding, you get the cookies and the whipped cream, and you sit there. Just it tastes so good. It's like that nostalgia you had when you were a kid when you first ate, like when we were babies.
mm,
How when you're eating, you want a bottle for goodbye, but then when you see the adults eating, you want a piece of that, and then you eat it. It tastes as good because it's different from what you had on the bottle. Is you eat off the fork or the spoon. Food, like again, it can be addictive as anything. That's why I think America we have probably the highest obesity rates, especially with stuff that's put in food now. You can go places like outside the country, like Europe. They don't have as bad as we do because they don't have a lot of chemicals and stuff. And they put preservatives in that kind of affects you. It attacks your brain when you get that taste. Like like you've been somewhere and you go to an event or you go to somebody's house for dinner or something like that, and they cook something a nice dinner, a nice spread, and it smells good and it tastes good, and just and sometimes you fix like 2 or 3 plates to take you home with because you just say you may not get it again, so you want just to have that same experience like you did the first time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not easy all the time. So,
No, it's
Well,
not. I actually got to get ready to bounce, guys. I stayed a little bit over an hour. I
uh,
enjoyed this topic. I thought it was very, very eye-opening, and I was pleased to be able to discuss it with y'all.
all right, appreciate that. Appreciate it.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah.
Y'all be easy, and good luck with you all's battles with whatever form of addiction.
All
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just you and me,
Well,
Kimosabi.
yeah. Well, I got another video. Check it out. Yeah.
Mm.
She doing some exercise, hip movement exercises and stuff.
I'm looking at that booty. Mm.
She whining like a Jamaican girl and stuff.
She might be.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I've been seeing her on Instagram and stuff. I don't know how she developed them exercises, but
2 strokes, I'm done.
yeah, she's
Oh,
yeah.
she, and she and she
Well,
parties
girls
too.
like that, and is girls on the strip club? Was she pretty like the girls in the strip club? Were they moving like that too?
There were some girls who just as pretty as her. Some did some other stuff that was moved like that. Some did a little stuff a little more than that. I knew this one chick, you know, her name was Zai. That was her stage name, and she used to do a
I
thing where
think
she
you
made
told
her,
me about this. I
yeah, she made her pussy like poop, queef, pop. One time they did a trick with I think it was a Heineken bottle. If I remember
yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean, we were really cool, she was, hadn't seen her in a long time, like since the club closed. You
Mm.
know, I like again, I enjoyed hanging out at the club, and some of the ladies, um, we became friends. A couple of ladies we weren't friends, like friends. We had some good times.
Yeah, you told me you ain't have you had relations but not relationships.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
get it.
that's the thing is, you
I,
had,
re- I
yeah.
remember a friend took me to the strip club a couple of times and stuff. Yeah, he took me there, and I'm like, I'm s- I'm seeing all these women. Well, not it ain't like it wasn't like a whole lot of women, but there was some women on the stage and stuff, and some of them they seem like predators a bit. Because one time he was tapping my friend. He was talking to a couple of them, and he was tapping my knee, and I didn't caught on to it. So I'm like, yo, why you tapping? Why you keep tapping me? And so, he was tapping me because he was like giving like an excuse to them that he had to go or something, that we had to go because they was asking him for like for drinks or something like that. And, that's what they do. They be like wanting you to buy them a drink and all that type of stuff. And there was this one chick, she was like, she was like in her 50s, and that everybody was laughing at her because she was a bit older and
Well,
stuff.
a couple of girls I knew that worked there were about 50, and they still look good. They had a, they were really, they look good. I think some women can, even though they might be older, they just, I mean, again, um, it's all dependent on the woman. And that's the thing is, they are there to work the guys and make their money. They got to pay their fees at the end of the night. Also, the club also charges you for certain things. Like if you use the VIP room, they charge you for that. You have to pay like the girls come in, they have to pay a fee to dance because they have to pay not just the club, the DJ, and the bar. And that's why
Mm.
most of them like to try to get drinks out of guys because they don't have to pay out of their money. It's like anything. They're there to provide an idea of a fantasy. I remember the first time I went to, because it was a little bit after my brother passed, and I was sitting with my friend, and I was saying, I knew the strip club was down because where we lived at, it was like next, like we'll wait for the next town over. And I was curious about it. I said, man, I always been curious about that club, and I had some money because some of the ladies I worked with got me a collection up for I was giving to my mom. Mom said, "No, son, that's yours. They gave it for you. I want to give it to her." And I said, "Well, I had a good chunk of change." And he said, "I'll pay for our way in." And we went there, and it was something different. I mean, it's one thing, like I said again, watching the movies and TV show is a totally different thing when you're actually there. The music, the women. I mean, I got my first lap dance. My friend told me to close my mouth because I was like, and just I couldn't close my mouth because I was just so
You
about it.
finished when you had that lap dance.
I got erection, but I didn't bust a nut or anything,
Oh,
no, that. But a few more times, and then like go to the VIP room, and the girls, depending on the girls, they will do a little more. you
hmm
know Other times it's just getting a dance. See, the club I went to, they could actually grind on you. Some places you can't. There's like, I think this is the limit or
yeah.
something
You
like that.
can't touch some of them. You can't touch some of them and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But and then like I said, hang out there as a regular, and then I got start working there, and it's just experience. I think everybody has experience where they go to places different. I even and also learn some stuff too. Like one thing I remember there was a few years ago they had a ladies' night, and they had these guys coming. I think it was like three or four guys, and each guy had a different routine. The guys that were already there, they said they was just gonna stay and chill because they want to wait for the girls. And whenever I remember one of the girls, she did this. She went to the dressing room and come back with a stack of ones. She just got the ones from one dude, about to get to the other dude. And this is what I learned: guys who strip, they have to be entertainers. Men, we're simple. You just shaking titties and ass in front of us. That's it. But for men, they have to really entertain the women because women yeah, they're gonna be attracted to the guys, but they have to be entertainers. Like one guy did a trick where he took two of the girls and stacked them up and just grind on them. One dude come
Mm.
out here, he was playing Prince's Sensational, and he was like pouring hot wax on himself. You have to be an entertainer, and women they like that. They just go crazy for it because it's something. And instead go back home to their old man, and then they bang the shit out of him.
Mm. I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I enjoyed the interview with Monica. It was pretty good. She's a really cool lady.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It was cool talking with her. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
And then
Yeah, I just friended her and stuff, and I asked her. Yeah, I liked that girl that you was talking to.
Joanne, yeah,
Yes.
she's pretty. I mean, she's nice. I mean, Maria Lieberman actually, she said that she said she wanted to do an interview with both of us together, but she was busy and she couldn't be able to do it. I said, well, whenever you get a chance, I say it'd be a fantasy of mine have two Filipino women at the same time. But I think
Mm.
she's, that's the thing is, some of these ladies are genuinely nice ladies. I mean, they've been through a lot. They like to have a conversation. They enjoy just talking about not just bodybuilding, but themselves, And this is when I do it, I could say, yeah, I call it addiction. I enjoy having conversation with these ladies and hearing their stories. And, it gives me something to do. Because, like I said, other than I got a doctor appointment in a couple of days and another one, got to do some running around later the week and see, we might do something I might go to my sister's house. She lives up the street from me. She might have something for Christmas. I might go over there, just trying to find something to do. It's not a lot to do when you live at where I live at.
Yeah, I don't know if I was in what would I do in your situation? I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not. I mean, like, you don't be trying to like at least like do like some speed dating or something, or
No,
TikTok or
no,
something like
no,
that,
no,
or just to talk to
no,
a woman. God
no,
damn, man.
that's not my thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't have an interest in that. I never had that on the online stuff. No, I like to, if I like to get to meet and talk to people, speed dating thing, I don't know. That's never been my thing. And like I said, now I'm setting my ways. You know, I like to, actually sit and talk with people. I have no interest
I
in
mean,
that.
you can still talk. I mean, it's
But
like I
it's
mean,
just
it's not real. I wouldn't say it's real, but it's just something to do. Because sometimes I do it. I know it's to each his own, but I'm just saying, like in your situation,
well,
you know.
nah, it's not for me. I think, like I said, I'm already setting my ways. Like I said again, if I go someplace, I like to, it used to be clubs here, but most of those clubs are shut down and closed.
You
And
don't
plus,
go
I
to
can't.
another city, like
Nah, like I said, I live on a budget, and to go to another
yeah.
city, I'm like I said again, I've lived in the same place for 30 years. I got comfortable where I'm at. That's the thing
Mm.
is, when you get comfortable someplace, you don't want to change it too often. It's one thing, like if I go out of town or something like that, but then it's just, I got comfortable. I got used to it. I had those thoughts every now and then. I want to do a little more, but then, I feel like it'd be more of an inconvenience than anything. But I do enjoy when I get to go out. Like I said again, went to Tampa, hang out with Eunice and also meet some ladies there. went to Atlanta with my family, enjoyed that, something like that. Not like I can do that every now and then, but other than that, I'm mostly at home working on stuff on the channel. I got to straighten my room out today, later, tomorrow. Maybe change my sheets and put on some fresh sheets and cook and just think. Also, I know ladies. Tomorrow's a couple ladies I know whose birthday, so I got to work on some stuff for them too. Just find little things you can do for yourself.
All right.
If I was a younger man, yeah, I wouldn't mind. But like I said again, I'm getting content now. I'm kind of set in my ways now.
I hear you, man. I hear you. But I got some other videos. Go check this out.
Muscle bound. I like, medium height. I like a man that's very masculine, in the way he carries himself. He's not like super communicative. Like, I believe like a real man is of a few words,
So what attracted you to my page?
Your looks, if I'm being honest.
You're attracted to somebody who's muscle bound. But if you meet a man who is health conscious and cares about his looks, that takes a lot of work, right?
Does.
Why do you think that a man who has put in that much energy into his health would be even attracted to somebody who aesthetically has not put the same work in for herself?
So listen, he asked me if I had a type. I don't really have a type.
Well, you did. You were very specific. You said muscle bound.
I said what
muscle
I don't.
bound.
No. What I said was I don't like tall, skinny guys.
You don't.
Because
you told
I'm
us
a
what
big
you
girl.
didn't like. You said
I'm a
muscle
big girl.
bound, though.
I'm a big girl. We just won't go together.
A lot of the time, there's no accountability. You have not been in the gym.
I have not.
I don't need your confirmation on that. I can see it.
Oh my God. That was a short clip of that. Shout out to Nothing But the Truth podcast. Listen, she said, I don't need confirmation on it, baby. I could.
And that's the thing.
I ain't gonna play the whole thing, but yeah, I seen that one. I think I seen that one. Yeah,
she's cute. She's cute with some big ass titties. I mean, the thing is, women are always going to say, "I don't have a type." You do have a type. Women know what they like in a man, and men know what they like in a woman. If you want that muscle bound dude, you got to be in great shape. You got to be. Some dudes like women who are just don't work out or train, because generally a lot of the guys who are bodybuilders, not all of them are dating and married a woman that's a bodybuilder. Their wife looks like any ordinary woman. She might train and work out a little bit, but not as much as he does. And then I think women, they're kind of different. They'll date the guys who are, fit, conscious, who works out. But then again, there are women who prefer men who are just regular looking guys. I remember one lady I was trying to get an interview with. Her husband looks like me. They got 2 kids together. He looks kind of like me. They've probably been together for a long time and they love each other. He changed herself, but maybe he set his ways. Maybe he might have been a little bit heavier before, but then he lost some weight. It's just about finding something. That's why dating now today is just, like it was great how me and Joey talk about how we remember how R&B music was like. But then there's some R&B singles that were not very gentlemen. I sent a link with a thing with Genuine's Pony.
Yeah. You never heard that before?
What? Pony?
Yeah.
Yes, I heard Pony. That's a classic.
No, I'm asking you, have she ever heard that before? Because you said
she heard Pony. She said she's 50. She's in her 50s.
Yeah, I know how old she is. Yeah, I listened to the
because that's someone you have something. We meet somebody, have something. When you're about in the same age range, you find a lot. You grew up in the same era. You have something in common with. That's one thing I think guys look for a woman, have something in common with. That's why, I don't have an interest like with young girls, because they're nice. They're something pretty.
Well, it don't have to be young girls. It could be it could be somebody your age. That's all.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. But that thing, some guys do chase after these young girls. The problem is young girls.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp. The Shannon Sharp.
That's because I remember that when we told him, "Hey, Shannon, get yourself a sister with arm fat who knows how to cook neck bone, because you know what, that one will take care of you."
I mean, I kind of like the control, but I kind of understand where he coming from, with that. But the thing was that the girl kind of played him. That's the thing, and he kind of like allowed that for himself. You know, he was simping on her instead
Himself.
of, yeah, he
That's
was
the thing is,
simping on her.
be like
So,
this is why I'm thinking some guys that do now, they have this like contract. If you get involved in a relationship with these guys, they have a contract where you can't sue them anymore like that. So you can't get anything on that. And and these courts will also, because she's a little white girl, it's just somebody will come and says, hey ma'am, you're an adult. Even though you have, well, how was she, 20, you're not like 21 is still, you're legally adult, but at 20 you're adult-ish. You're not really
mm,
grown.
mm,
You're old enough where you can join the military, but not old enough to get cigarettes or even buy a drink. Like these guys, I know stories, guys being, like I watch more. These guys be with these girls were 18 and 17 years old. You can't do much with them because you're 23, 24, maybe 30, and you can go places she can't go. She at home, waiting for you. That's why,
mm.
again, a man, when you look for a woman, you want a woman that's, you know, who you share things in common with. Like we sit down, you talk about, like we were talking with Joanne, we talk about, remember back in the day when, VCRs and DVD players, stuff like we can have conversations like that. Then with somebody who's like, unless it's like maybe somebody, I would say if someone 10 years younger, okay, because you're not too far behind for me. But then we get past the 10 years to 20 years or more, when I was in my, mid 20s, you were just maybe just in the cradle, like we talk about Paula Ranta. I met her. She's young, she's attractive, but that's what it is. She's young. Or like I said, when I'm hanging out with some of the old ladies, we can talk, have conversation. We maybe things, ladies that maybe about a few years older than me. But
That's all you want to do is just talk to him. That's it.
That's all I can do. Talk. I mean, unless we meet somewhere. But most of them, like I said again, these ladies are married and have boyfriends. We have conversations, we have fun. But I know I'm not going more worried with it. It would be nice, but it's up to her. If I'm somebody that she's attracted to, and she feels like she's interested in me, cool. If not, then again, that's all we can do is be friends. It has to be, again, attraction has to it can't be a one-way street. It has to be mutual between two people. It has to go both ways. She might be attracted to you, but you're not attracted to her, or you're attracted to her, but she's not attracted to you. That's the thing. It's like remember Family Matters with Urkel. He's chasing after Laura all those years.
Yeah, they weren't friends. See, they that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, she's just somebody that you cool with. Like I wouldn't call that friends. It's just somebody that you can talk to. That's it.
That's the thing, is that's how his friendship starts off, with somebody you cool with. What do you?
But that's not a friendship. That ain't a friendship.
Aren't you
that's
cool
not
with
a
your
real
friends?
one.
Aren't you cool? If you have friends you cool with and you talk and have conversation,
Yeah, but that's different. I think a guy friend it's different than a female friend. Like in my way, in my perspective, because especially if you're attracted to them,
if
that's not a real friend.
But the thing is, if there's no real sexual or mutual physical attraction to the both of you, that's how friends. Are you attracted to your guy friends?
Okay, that's something different. That's different. But if one is attracted to the other, whether it's male or female, then that I wouldn't call that a real friendship. That's it.
But again, there's no attraction. It's you
losing me. I just said if one is attracted to the other and the one ain't attracted to it, then that's not a real friendship. That's all I'm saying.
The thing is, if there again, I'm not attracted to them like that. We're just cool. And the thing is,
but are you attracted to him? That's what I'm saying.
As a man, yes, I'm gonna say, but like I say,
it's not your real friend.
But the thing is that the thing is, I'm gonna say that. Yes, I mean I'm still attracted, but I know that there's not gonna be nothing more of that. And that's why I appreciate the friendships I've gained. They like if you're with a guy, are you attracted to your guy friend?
But it's different. It's different. It's different.
Just because one thing that separates us is our sexes. That's what separates us. What separates being men and women. Yes, men and women are supposed to be together.
I don't think I was attracted to my friend. That's what I'm saying. If a male friend.
Yeah, that's. But hey, there's a lot of gay dudes have men friends they're attracted to. Well, same thing with women.
They're not their friends. That's the thing.
But the thing is,
they're not their friends.
If there's nothing more than just gain friendship from it, from the relationship, you know. And if like I know this one dude, he was attracted to a woman, he told you attracted to, and she said, "Well, like he's a friend." Okay, and that the end of that, they're still friends, you know. And
Can
it's
let me
also
ask you
views.
something. What do you benefit? What do you benefit as them being your friend?
What do you benefit from having friends?
No. Come
No,
on,
wait.
like
That's the thing is,
don't try to switch it on me now. You
that
talked
is,
about
what
the
do you
friendship.
benefit from it?
You talked
I know
about the
what
friendship.
I'm getting
You talked
friendship.
about the friend. You talked about the friend.
We
What
getting
does it
friendship with
benefit you?
somebody
What does it
who, like,
benefit
if
you?
there's like this.
Stop
You
trying
want
to
to
be
answer? You
slick,
want me to answer
man.
the
Stop
question?
trying
Hey,
to be
do you
slick.
want me to answer the question? You want me to answer the question? I get a friend. Simple as that. Somebody we can talk about things. They might sometimes they even might ask even this one thing. Some ladies, they might want my opinion of something. Like sometimes the ladies will send me their progress pictures and give me, George, what you think. And I'll say,
That's that they benefiting from your friendship.
yeah.
They
And
benefit more
then
than
I
you
benefit from their
benefiting.
friendship
That's what I'm
because
saying.
they'll tell me things that most people won't know. They give me information.
But they benefiting you. They benefiting from you
We
more than
benefit
you're
from each
benefiting
other.
from them. That's what I'm
We
trying to
benefit from
say.
each other. We still benefit from each other. They
How you
send
benefiting from it?
they
Because
ask my
to be on
opinion.
interviews. That's it.
Well, not all, many ladies, some of the ladies I've done interviews with, we're cool because hey, some ladies I've done interviews with, and we're still cool because hey, we chat, we talk, have conversation. It's just thing is when you meet somebody, even though you might feel a little thing about them, but most of the time it's just maybe a little crush or something like that. But then you realize this is somebody you really like, is a friend. And, you may not have those sexual feelings like you thought you did. You just somebody, 'cause especially if it's a woman is attractive, and we're men. Come on, we're gonna be attracted to a woman, but if we know that there's nothing more of it just being a friendship, then we're
I'm
simple.
not being a friend. I ain't being a friend.
That's
I
you.
mean, I'm not benefiting that.
That's you. Why you want to benefit from it? Why you want to look for benefits from it?
Because I want to at least benefit, of course, because
So you
she's
want to fuck it?
benefiting
That's what.
from
Just
it.
admit it. Just say it. You
She's
want to fuck it?
benefiting from it because
Just
she's
admit it.
benefit because I gotta listen to her. She's the one that's talking, telling me all her problems,
And
all
then
that
she'll
type of
explain.
stuff.
We
And then
talk about it.
there's certain things that she'll ask me to do, and let's say if I do it, so she's gonna be benefiting from it. It's not like she's not gonna benefit from it.
But then again, there's those people who take advantage of it. But some people don't. They just want. Sometimes there's women. Women and men. We want somebody we can talk to about things. Sometimes we may not want to talk with somebody who's, the same sex. Because sometimes we want a point of view. We might be looking. Might be looking at another woman, or we might want to get a point of view from that woman about that woman. She might know something that we don't. It's changing information. She might want to know something about a guy we know, and they might ask us about him and say, "Hey, I know this guy. He's a pretty good dude." The thing is, why do you want? Why is there supposed to be benefits out of it? It's just having friendship.
It is because we all benefit from a friendship. It's not like we don't benefit from a friendship. That's all I'm saying. We all
Sometimes
benefit from it.
like to have a friend where somebody's there for you when you need them, or just if you go through hardship, like like you feel like hey, somebody would just say hey, everything's all right, it's fine, just somebody to lean on every now and then. Sometimes
So
even though you can have family, and then sometimes family things don't work out. Sometimes your friends can be more your family than your own family.
but I'm not gonna tell women too much of my problems like that. I'm not,
Then
because a lot of
that's
times you as a man, you're not
that's
gonna
you.
show your vulnerability to
What's
a
wrong with
woman like
that?
that
What's wrong with that?
unless it like I could see like certain things like she'll help you like find a job or something like that, or something, you know what I mean, like in a way like connections or something, if I could say that.
Yeah.
But if it's not like no
Then
value to it, you know what I'm
the
saying?
thing
Like
is,
she's not like a real friend. She's just somebody I'm cool with, and that's okay. But I'm
but aren't
not
we
gonna
cool with
say
our
that
friends?
she's my friend.
Aren't we cool with our friends? That's the thing. We say,
Of course, but you know, of course,
so again,
of course. But
one
you
thing
know,
your friend
sometimes your friend can help you. That's it.
Yeah, and
That's all I'm
that's the thing
saying.
with if you're not cool with somebody else, that's if you're not cool with that person, that's it. You're not cool. You're just somebody you know. That's an acquaintance. But
No, and you could be cool with people, but that doesn't mean that they're your friends. You could be like, "Hey, what's up?" and we just talking and stuff like that. They don't necessarily have to be your friend.
But
They
then
they
yeah,
just
that's people.
somebody
That's
that you're
again,
cool
that's
with.
people you might be acquainted with. But then your friends are people also you have to be you're cool with. You can be cool with other people, but then not be friends. You just know them, you work with them, or something like that. But that thing about friendship, there's so many factors to it. It's not just one
These
thing.
dudes is funny, bro. I don't know. It's giving me a flex emoji.
I don't know. I don't even show
Hey,
those things.
sometimes, like a lot of times, man, these dudes, they kind of annoy me a little bit because they won't
That's
say
why
nothing. They just say
I
like the usual stuff, like I love female bodybuilders, or give me a flex emoji or something like that. Like they
the
don't
best
really
thing
give you that value. Like, hey, I get what y'all talking about. You know what
the
I'm
thing is
saying? That's with these dudes. They piss me off, man.
don't worry about them. They're not the concern. Because that's the thing is they're just jumping on something because
No, they idiots. That's what I'm trying to say. They fucking idiots.
That's why you don't waste your time on stupid people. That's why I have
I
I do
could
my
agree with you on that, George. I
yeah
agree with you on that.
I do my lives and I had guys make comments and most of the time I don't post them. I pay no attention. Sometimes someone that's stupid I would delete. The thing is, we're doing something. We're a platform about some guys out there like to talk about, and because not enough people talk about it. No one we talks about, other than maybe me, you, David, the Female Bodybuilding Channel, but those guys don't do lives. They do lives, but they're pre-recorded lives. They post them and then but that's why I love doing my lives because sometimes like like when you come on, you like to talk and ask questions, like like the thing you ask her like where she's from, like she's from California, but you didn't ask her specifically
It's not that deep, bro. It wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep, man. I just asked. I just like, hey. That's why I said I meant. That's why I wrote. I meant like on where's your background? Where's your family from?
Yeah.
And she told me Philippines. That's it.
Yeah, because you were curious about her. You saw her. She's an attractive woman. You can't lie about that. You're curious because everybody's so typically, if somebody looks like a certain way, everybody goes like, not everybody who's Hispanic is from Mexico. Like I said, I've interviewed ladies from Honduras, from Chile, from other countries because they look a certain way. Counting, she's my third Filipino. Counting her, Maria, and Abby Jimenez. Big Jane, she's Thailand. Jamie, where I talked about earlier, her family's Vietnamese. Marilyn Yee's from China. There's so many different women out here in this world. And it's just all of them have particular things about them. As men, we are drawn to it. And then if we get to know them, we can either be off put by them or just say, you know what, we'll be cool. Other than just, we're just people who see each other, say, how you doing, whatever, or be on social media.
Yeah.
Like I said, relationships because they tell you information, let you know stuff that most people are not telling you. But you got to keep that confidence too.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're happy, it makes you keep going in life. I'm not, it's cool.
Yeah.
So
sometimes people need
I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna play this video.
Check out the view from back here, Eduardo.
Stop that.
You're Superman's best friend, huh?
No, I've come here to search for the Omega Hedron.
Eddie and me, we're on a secret mission also. We're out looking for a good time. Oh, she works out, huh?
Why are you doing this?
It's just the way we are.
You shouldn't have done that, baby. Oh, I see. You really You want to play games, eh, sweetheart? Eddie, I think maybe we should kind of keep this to ourselves. What do you think?
Yo,
The
I
guy,
don't know who wrote that story, but I'm like, what was they thinking? Like, and you see somebody using a heat ray vision on your knife, and you still want to attack them and
it's a
blowing the
movie.
person away. That it
It's a,
doesn't matter. That like
it's
who
a
wrote that? Who
movie.
wrote it?
It's a
It doesn't
movie.
matter.
It's
It
a
doesn't matter.
movie.
That's crazy. That's
It's a movie.
crazy.
It's a movie that
It
came out in
doesn't matter. It
the 80s.
doesn't matter if it's a movie or not.
It's white
It's
people
not
too.
realistic.
It's white
It's
people
not.
too because white if it was black people. If the bitch kicked my homeboy, I'm running. If she murdered him, I'm running.
Yeah, she picked him up with her jaw. She picked him up with his jaw, like all the way up the jaw. I'm not going to try to attack this bitch. Like, yo, come on, like,
Again,
who
it's
wrote
white
this? Who wrote that
people.
story?
It's,
Who wrote it? It doesn't
maybe
matter if they white people or not. It's just,
most time you see like even watching horror movies. When you hear something in the house, I say it's something in the house, and the white people want to investigate. When black people, hell no, I'm out.
I ain't
The
gonna
guy,
lie. Like I think that's a bit exaggerating because there's white people that's smart. They ain't gonna do all that type of shit. I mean, there's some nosy white people, but they not. I don't think everybody. I don't believe that every white person go want to investigate like that. Like I think that it's the same thing. It's the same thing when they do like these stereotypical stuff with us. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
But they often more time they're the ones who want to because they think I'm white. I want to see what's going on. And the guy who got blue eyes, Matt Fuhrer, he was Max Headroom back in the day. I remember him. We came out in the '80s. He had the TV show, and then the Max Headroom commercials like Max Headroom.
Yeah, I remember that. He had a they had a TV show based on him.
Yeah, he used to do a lot of the Pepsi
It
commercials.
stay on. Yeah, I remember from the TV commercial, but they had a series. It didn't stay on long. It was like about the future and stuff.
Yeah, because he was he was Max Headroom, and they just based the series around his character a bit, and then it didn't last long. It was because he was a big fan, like he had a TV show called Doctor Doctor. I like that one. That was pretty good.
Doctor Doctor.
Yeah, that was Matt. He was
not sure about that.
It was on for a good while. It's just it's entertainment. One thing they really should have done was maybe did Superman and them together. I don't know. They just really missed the ball on that. They could have really had a great series with that.
I don't think I've seen that whole movie like that. I don't think I've seen a whole movie. I just seen like the end.
It was, it could have been better. I mean, maybe it could have crossed over with the. I think it was. I don't know. Was it an issue with a contract or something? That's why they did that movie, but they didn't really, cross over like they could have. It really could have been better because the last two Superman, the Superman 3 and 4 were really disappointing. Because Superman 3 had good problems, and it wasn't as good. Superman 4. It was, I don't know. I think
it's so right. Yeah, it wasn't all that great. It wasn't. It wasn't. I say 1 and 2 like after that.
Yeah, that's why when they did that Superman Return movie, they based it on the last two Superman movies. Not they kind of just push out the 3, 4. One thing was.
I didn't really think that Superman Returns wasn't that bad, man. I thought it was cool. I thought it was all right. If they had like a supervillain there, but they had Lex Luthor, but they had a supervillain, I thought it'd be really good.
Yeah, something like actually, if they did it like based it on number 2, they actually killed off Zod and the group other Kryptonians. Could have brought in, I think. They were Brainiac or they were going to go with Metallo, one of those two, and still have Lex. But they did the whole thing with the giant, Kryptonian island made of kryptonite. I mean, and have
Yeah.
them have a son, and that was just, I don't know. They could have, I don't know. They just slapped something together. I mean, they just didn't really capitalize it on it like they should have. I mean, maybe better movie. It's always gonna be a thing. You're gonna have those first tries making like a classic of a, like the thing with they were gonna have Nick Cage be Superman, but then that missed because there was gonna be, who was it? The same guy who did the first two Batman movies. God, I know his name. He's back in my head. He was gonna do Superman, but then whatever happened, that didn't happen, and then boom. It's always a thing. I mean, it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me see. I'm gonna play one more video and I'm gonna call it a wrap.
People know me as the She-Hulk from the Netherlands. The She-Hulk is big, but I'm not green. I'm big.
She is the woman with the largest arms in the Netherlands. Maybe even the largest arms in the world.
I keep building. People, they say it's only fat, but they can touch it. And then they say, oh, it's hard. My biceps are 64 centimeters.
If you see a group of people walking through a city center, everybody's like, who is this? Who is Jackie? Literally, we had children scared of you.
Yeah. Just like that.
Okay.
You know what? She made me think of a scene from Deuce Bigelow. That's one huge bitch.
Yeah, she's huge.
I think they always supposed to have a fight with her. Something happened with that. I don't know what the context.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember she talking about her.
Yeah. Lady O, she be interviewing a lot. She be like wrestling a lot of female bodybuilders. She wrestle on what's her name?
Echo
what's
Bell.
her girl name? Yeah, Echo Bell. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. She posted on her IG. I still follow her.
Yeah.
She talked about how her Echo was pretty cool, but I don't think because now Echo's IB Pro, they just don't connect much like it used to. It's it changes you. It changes you when you become a pro. But if you're the same person, it shouldn't change you too much.
Yeah. So let me wrap this up, man, because I don't want my computer acting up on me. But I appreciate you hopping on and we chopping it up and stuff. So,
like I said again, I remember you sent the message. I say, well, then I nodded off and I heard I got your notification on my phone. I said, let me jump on. And you already started with Orlando and Brandon. And I said, well, come on for a little bit,
I ain't cover every video, maybe I might do like a solo thing and talk about it, whatever.
Yeah, that's the best thing. Just do it, because most of the time, I don't be on TikTok like that. I don't know why. Just other than I post them every now and then, I don't be on like that much.
Yeah. All right, so we'll wrap it up. You got any announcements or whatever?
Well, nothing right now. I guess the stuff's got to work on. Also, I might do this because not this upcoming Monday, the next Monday before Christmas, that week of Christmas.
You're gonna do the list, right? The list of female bodybuilders.
Yeah, you can mix from anything from wellness to bikini to figure, physique, women's bodybuilding. The divisions that you feel, ladies that are just your favorites, that are amazing and beautiful. Also, I'm saying, waiting some ladies return on some interviews. I know this is getting close to the holidays, and other than that, just trying to find something to talk about. I'm gonna that Sunday. Before that, Must Talk Monday, I'm having a discussion, and this is for exclusive for the ladies. We're going to talk about a certain subject that I think affects them.
All right. So we'll stay tuned, and thanks. All right, folks. Like the channel, like the video. I know y'all ain't gonna share, but thanks for hopping on. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time.